Hello Taurus, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and hits that like button. That is your way of giving back to the channel, and it supports the channel and continues it to grow. So thank you. Today we're going to do a reading for May 2020 for Taurus sun, moon and rising signs. And we're going to change it up a little bit today. We're going to add in a little bit of new information. We're going to do some cards and get some spiritual advice for you, Taurus. But what I want to touch on is about your south and north node. And the reason we're going to talk about that is it's linked to your karma. And as you know, 2019, 2020, we've been talking about it in all the other videos. So check that out. Is all about reestablishing a new foundation for your karma or your karmic cycles or journey on lessons. So we've all been hit with this Saturn-Pluto conjunction all year through to 2020, trying to give us and teach us these big lessons and close out some big cycles in our life. But what we're going to touch on is, I'm going to tell you about the south node. We all have a south and a north node. And if you don't know what that is, you can click on the link below and get a natal chart, and it will show you your south and north node, which is linked to your karma here. So what you want to do, Taurus, is understand that your south node is kind of about, we call it your wounding, okay? It's where you need to grow or grow beyond or move through something. So like a lesson, what's the lesson here? And for you, Taurus, your south nodes, we've all had Capricorn in our south node, and in our north node, we've got Cancer. And the reason I'm bringing this reading is because it's soon going to hit 2 degrees and move out of these Capricorn and Cancer energy into Sagittarius and Gemini. And that's next month. And so that's going to be like a breath of fresh air. But it's moving into a new karmic cycle, so it's like a little test at the moment, a little karmic test to see if you pass and if you're going to move through it and evolve. So that's why I thought I'd add it in, just as a little side note. And it's about your evolution. Are you going to evolve from this or through this or not? So that's interesting because it is part of the 2020 journey as well. So for Taurus, the south node with the Capricorn energy. Now Capricorn's hard taskmaster, kind of push down your emotions, push through, suck it up, do the hard work, put in the it toughens it out a bit, makes you tough it out a bit, okay? So it can be that harsher energy. And it's an earth energy, it's an earth sign energy, and you're Taurus, you're an earth sign. So it's 2 earth sign there's for you. And the lesson is, they want you to educate yourself or learn how to embrace and expand into like new systems, new belief systems, into the unknown. Because as you know, the Taurus and Capricorn energy is very earthy, very set, very structured, can be rigid, stubborn, refusal to adapt. So there's a little karmic lesson here, and the south and the north node want you to find a balancing point. We can't jump from there to there. It's too big a karmic thing, but it's asking you to find a balancing point in that. And if you do, Taurus, you evolve, you move on, you move through it. So we've all got it, we're all being hit with it. And as I looked over your stuff, it's very similar to the Virgo. So if you're even interested in listening to that, have a listen to that. Particularly if you've got Virgo in your chart, but there's a similar theme going on here, and the north node's not easy. You have to put in hard work. Your north node it's in Cancer, deep healing, more emotional connection, more going inward, softening your approaches to things, softening into different perspectives, soften deeper, and it's wanting you to do that. But the north node's not easy. Like it's hard, it's our challenge. It's the challenge to the south node of the karmic lesson. And as you all know, karmic lessons aren't our easiest thing to move through. So that's why it's a lesson. So we have to ask, what's the lesson here? Okay, with the south node. But with a double earth there, Educate yourself. It's also about travel, but we're not allowed to travel, and that could be holding things up for you, and you could feel stuck. We're meant to be able to travel and move when you've got that in your 9th house, but we can't. But you can travel in your mind, in your perspectives, in your ideas, in your belief systems. And what they're just asking you to do or learn or educate or look for, embracing, broadening your horizons, expanding into the unknown. And that's a big thing for you, Taurus, because you like the structure and the stability and the security. But you do have to learn to look at new perspectives. That's the little challenge here. Seek out new perspectives, new realities. How you thought reality may have been or should be, maybe not how it is. And so you're having to deal with that at this time. And to add in there, Taurus, you've had some big planets move through your sign anyway for a while, Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter. And this month in particular, in May, we've got 3 planets going retrograde: Venus, Saturn and Jupiter, all going backwards, all retrograding. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean it goes back to the same old issue or place or situation. It might go back to something, but with a new perspective, a new idea, more information, a new way of doing. And the reason I'm bringing this up is, yes, the month of May, and next month, this closes out. The learning of this lesson closes out for you, and we move into Sag and Gemini, your north and south node. So that's why I wanted you to get the heads up. Now, let's jump across here to the start of the month of May. You've also got Venus there. Now, Venus rules our love and money, our finances, our relationships, and Venus is your ruler, Taurus. So you're going to feel this more. And what I'm going to lead on to now is Venus goes retrograde from the 13th and 14th of May through to the 26th of June. And it's in the 2nd house of your money as well. And the 13th and 14th, you have Mars into the 11th house. So we're going to talk about that because that's a lot going on for you, Taurus. But here's the thing I want to focus on the most, because with that south and north node, that I just explained, finding a balancing point. This is for you to evolve and grow through so that your life is better for you. But on the 7th of May, we've got a full moon in Scorpio, and it falls in your 7th house of relationships. Where are the changes needed? That's connected to your south and north node, balancing point. Where do you need to make changes? Where are changes needed? Full moons bring endings, completions of cycles. It's also about balance and give and take. Are your needs being met? And vice versa. So you're going to have to look at all of that. And here's another aspect to that south node lesson in Capricorn and the north node in Cancer, finding a balancing point. Because Taurus, you have Uranus in your sign for the next few years, and it's waking you up. It is wanting you to you're going to reinvent yourself for the next few years. So this is why you need to find the balancing point or the ability to embrace the unknown, to expand into new learning or new belief systems and new realities and the way you do things or you thought things should be done. So there's a little challenge there. So ask yourself, what am I stubborn in or on? What am I clinging on to? Because that's just our fear, by the way. We've all got it. We've all got a controlling aspect. Each sign was brought up. It's not just you. But with that Capricorn sitting there in your south node, the wounding, the growth, the moving beyond, where you need to grow through that double earth. So if you are one of those Tauruses that don't look too much into other areas or aspects of outside your reality, there could be some challenges there. Not all Tauruses are that, you know, that way, but we've all got our own individual charts, but that's just a little aspect for some of you. So that full moon's hitting your house of relationships, you know. Then on the 12th, we have Mercury in the second house. Second house is all about your money. You're reevaluating your money on all levels. And what I want you to do here, because relationships, you know, these new belief systems and expanding into the unknown and embracing new ways. You know, this is about, you know, Venus going backwards as well. Love and money, relationships in your 7th house and the 2nd house. Reevaluate your money on all levels. And look at your gifts and talents, Taurus, because why I'm saying that is, I always get Taurus as the provider, you know, probably always focused on security, stability, money, finances, because they're the provider, they're the rock. So abundance is about how we feel abundant inside. So how do you look at money? Is it never enough? How do you, you know, are you always wanting more? Because that's kind of a lack energy, or never having enough, you know, never got enough, never having enough. So I want you to really reevaluate money and how you think about money and value money on all levels, because they're asking you to come up with a new way, or just to be more, just to soften your perspectives around all that. That's what it is. And you'll be rethinking relationships. Some of you may reconnect with someone from the past, or be thinking about past relationships, things coming in there that can come up this month. But you've got a little aspect here too, where in your chart, Taurus, where, you know, where you might meet someone by chance or unexpectedly. It could be someone you know from the past. Maybe you meet them by chance meeting, or something unexpected, or if it's new, it's an unexpected. You weren't expecting to meet this person. So that's a nice little aspect there. Yeah, Taurus, you need to go inward. And the 6 of Cups reversed, you know, these two are sitting here doing their own thing in their own energy, working together but in their own space. They're pretty focused on doing their thing their own way, and it was in reverse. So I think that's something you need to look at. Past hurts. You're definitely getting some clarity, focus and direction. You're closing out a karmic cycle this month, and it's around that full moon. I knew that full moon, Scorpio full moon for you was big in the 7th house of relationships, because, you know, this overflowing abundance or energies coming in. You want this balance and harmony and equal give and take. They're meeting each other mentally, emotionally, physically and spiritually, but there's a supportive energy there, like nobody's giving more or less. It is so equal in the give and take. And that's what we said. Where do the changes need to be met? In balance and give and take. Are your needs being met, and vice versa? Because the karma card's upside down. So there's something you haven't learnt about you and relationships, Taurus here. And this full moon's giving you that chance to kind of complete this karmic cycle. And it's saying it even in your south and north node there. It's universal, so it is. It's nearly like a universal test. Passion coming in, seeing new ideas, new perspectives, new ways, but it's upside down. This is like, you know, a bit of the Uranian energy, Uranus, like seeing it a different way. A new perspective came in. I never saw it that way. Because Uranus kind of says, hey, what about this way? Hey, did you think of this? Hey, what about that? But it's upside down. So that's the challenge by the end of the month. And let's pull some more cards here. And I'm going to be honest with you. Taurus, I tried to do your reading before and it wouldn't happen. I had to do another sign. I tried to tune into your energy and it was very heavy for me to tune into. Very heavy, very dense, very nearly Capricorn-y and Taurus earth energy heavy. So what they're asking you to do is to connect to your emotions and your intuition. So I'm not saying forget about your structured foundations of your reality, of how you think life should be. We're all entitled to have that, but they're just asking you here to connect. Use more emotion. Use more, go inward, trust your intuition, connect. The Queen of Cups connects emotionally, you know, his past hurts and moving through them. See, there's the Taurus card upside down. So some of you are kind of coming out, I believe here, of a hurt, of past hurts, for those of you who have been hurt, for those of you who have been left behind. You kind of haven't been able to move through this, but I can see clarity and focus. Yeah, for some of you, there may have been a third party, if it was a relationship, or even a friendship that didn't go well. You got some clarity on that situation and it was very hurtful and painful and you did have to move through it. And maybe you thought that person was a certain, you know, you had a certain reality or perception about that person. And maybe you learnt that that wasn't the case. And that's why they're saying you needed to look at that, not from head on, from different perspectives. Because someone got hurt here. For others of you who are not in that situation, they're asking you to connect more emotionally, more deeply, more intuitively, rather than the practical, the logical. Okay? A balance of both is what I love to hear. And anywhere you haven't been able to move forward or put things in action, you're being held up for a reason here. You haven't got quite clarity yet. You haven't got the ideas. You haven't listened to other perspectives. You haven't collaborated enough or gathered enough different ideas, opinions, perspectives, exploring into that. You haven't done that yet. You will once you get the clarity. I'm losing my voice. You're the last reading of the day for today. Because, you know, what's coming in is this overflowing of abundance and wish fulfillment, but it's upside down at the moment, particularly for those of you who had maybe a third party situation. But for those of you who are just trying to bring in new concepts and perspectives and new ways away from what you really thought what was going to happen in a practical, logical kind of Taurian plan, you didn't get your wish fulfillment. But there's more coming in here. See, back to the drawing board, back to the planning, researching, getting information. And for those of you who were in a relationship that got hurt, they're asking you to look deeply because there was an imbalance here in your relationship. For some of you, watch around the full moon because the 7th house rules relationships and change is needed. And this person's looking into and delving and reviewing and gathering the information, which is what a Taurus normally does. But here they're not, and they're not looking into this, or they weren't looking into this. And that could have even been someone not putting in the effort, and in your mind you thought they were. That's for someone in relationships that's having issues or a breakup or a breakdown. There'll be communication coming in very fast, Taurus, for the ones who were in a relationship that's had breakdown, breakup, or something like that. Or you're waiting on information to close out that karmic cycle or learn that karmic lesson. It's coming in and it'll be around that full moon. That's the middle row, the full moon. It's emotional, but the universe needed to see it, or you needed to go through it. You're back in your flow here, though. They're asking you to go with the flow and find your passion and find your fun and flow for life, and to be more light, be more joyful. not so earthy. There's an element here in these cards that I want to bring up for someone, and this will resonate with whoever it needs to resonate with, but it's like they want you to learn how to bond through open communication, Taurus. And I don't really know what they mean by that, because I'm a Sag, so I just talk. I probably say too much. But bonding through open communication is not kind of communication where, you know, when you have a conversation and it should go this way, or the person should answer this way, or behave this way, or have the same values, or have the same morals, or have the same views, or have the same, it's not a structured conversation that you're comfortable with. And if it's outside that, you're not good with it. Because it's yeah, there's an issue there for some of you with that, and they're asking you to, you know, expand into the unknown and embrace new ideas and be more adaptable within a communication and other people's perspectives. That's only for some of you. That's not for all of you. There's just, I don't know, that just came in there, so I better answer it. Yeah, and they're calling for you, Taurus, by the end of the month to go so inward to you. Connect with your soul, your light, your energy, your spiritual self, your emotional self. See, at the start, your emotional self, your intuition here, and get a new perspective on whatever it is for you, whether it's relationships, your job, your career, the way you're doing life, the way you're doing relationships in particular, because it's all in your 7th house. And then we've got Venus, your ruler, going retrograde back into stuff. So they're asking you to review how you do relationships. Is it open communication? Is everyone's free perspective and opinion and values accepted by you, Taurus, or vice versa? Where that fits. Because here they're asking for more flow, more passion, more openness, more, you know, to each in each cup. Some of you will be reviewing, you will definitely be reviewing your relationships around the full moon, because you want a new world. You're open. You do want to look. See, I think that's that Uranus energy coming in for the next few years, waking you up, reinventing yourself, showing you all these new perspectives, which gives you a whole new world, which is rejuvenation, abundance, a new paradigm, a new world, a new beginning. But look at all these different perspectives here coming in, and it flourishes. You flourish. That's like a new beginning, like rejuvenated, reborn. And then you're standing around, you're looking deeper into your values and your long-term security and more nurturing of yourself. And because this, you know, the Taurus card, the Pentacles here, the Queen of Pentacles, she takes care of everyone. She takes care of everybody. But who's taking care of her? And there's a transformation here. And again, a repeat, moving forward in a direction. For some of you, if it's career or just how you're interacting in relationships in general, you know, you've got to expand your ways, your thoughts, your belief systems. For others of you, you are moving on from a relationship here, from a soulmate. You're moving into a direction. Some of you are moving away. Some of you are moving towards another one here. And because there's an ending with a soulmate. And the Hanged Man, it's kind of out of your hands. So if some of you have been dealing with a relationship, a love relationship, or a friendship, could be a work colleague, like as in, you know, like a job you're at where you're not, the relationship with your job and you at that job, not like a love relationship, like you at the job. If it's not working, it's not working. But I actually think this is for people who are maybe in a love relationship or love situation that aren't happy. Someone's definitely moving on there and they've got no more choice in it. So that could be two people just not on the same page, like not seeing each other's perspectives, and it's created an issue, it's created an ending. So there we go. That's just an example for wherever it fits with you, but it's like a relationship where it was an open communication, where we didn't have this equal give and take and this equal or expansion into different perspectives. It was sort of, no, it should be this way, and our relationship should be like this, and you should be doing that, and this is how reality goes, and that's my foundation, and you know, there's it just, something wasn't moving forward here. Somewhere, someone was not getting anywhere. Yeah, see, no action, the Queen of Wands inward. There's a healing here that's got to happen with you in relationships. It's all about relationships, Taurus. So what I'm getting from that card there is whatever's not working for you wasn't working for you. So it's time to get a new perspective on things in a new way and soften your perspectives on things, wherever that may fall in what's happening with your life. There's a healing here about relationships and trust and faith, and wherever you were refusing or blocking yourself or stuck or set or being stubborn or rigid or not, it has affected your relationships. And they're saying, once you change that, look, once you change that, oh wow, once you change that, once you learn that little karmic lesson that we tried to help you with, look at this abundance coming. Someone wanted to give the 10 of Cups, absolute happiness and contentment, exactly what you were looking for, and emotional security, it's mastery, stability, the King of Cups, with connection. He connects emotionally and he's mastered in his emotions, emotional mastery and balance in relationships. Within our perspectives, whether it's at work, with our boss or colleagues, or in a love relationship or in friendships. So there's a big lesson there, Taurus. Very, very, very interesting there. So we'll just get these out of the way. Whoops, knocked something off the table. That wasn't good. It's okay. So let's just grab a few cards here, because it's all about your 7th, that Scorpio full moon, deep, intense emotions in the 7th house of relationships. So I think I just need to pull a few relationship cards here for Scorpio. Sorry, Taurus for the Scorpio full moon, because it's very interesting, and it kind of was the middle line of the cards where I think you're going to go through a lot for some of you. Yeah, love yourself first, let go of control issues. Wow, Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Now, it doesn't mean you're controlling, Taurus. We're all controlling. We've all got control issues. And we have them in our own ways because they're our fears, really. That's the wounding, the South Node. In Capricorn, the wounding. Let your friends help you. And let your friends help you can be bringing on different perspectives, different ideas, different opinions. And loving yourself first makes all the difference in your connection with people and romantically. And in that we have to let go of, allow the situations to unfold naturally, not have all these rules and be disappointed when someone doesn't behave a certain way or act a certain way. Let go of control issues, and you're like on the honeymoon. You know, the honeymoon we're not really worried about anything at the honeymoon. We're having a good time. Bring chemistry. So yeah, because this is going to bring in true love and the love that you deserve. And for a lot of you, heal family issues. And this way you are, this karmic lesson could be from a past life or an issue in your past to do with the healing a family issue. So sometimes because of a family trauma or wound or something we grew up with, we kind of we'll have control issues around something to control it, so we don't have to go through that trauma or through that experience. Or you know, sometimes you hear people say, we were very poor and I will never be poor, like, or, you know, my children, or I'm always going to have money, and they work, and they set this level, and it's in a controlling energy, not, oh, I enjoy it and I love it and I'm just doing it because I love it. And, you know, we're doing something from a controlled space, from a wound, from healing something that we need to heal. And so if let's say you had a trauma or a wound in the way a certain person behaves in a certain way, and you're like, no, if that ever happens around me, I would never accept that behavior. I don't even understand it. I've got no tolerance for it. Very rigid thinking, very stubborn, refusal to adapt or see another perspective. That can all come from a wound. And all they're asking is for whatever that is for you, is to keep an open mind. There's your lesson, Taurus. Now, we're not saying you should have things the way you are. You like them. Your security, your stability. I mean, Taurus, you're the gods and the goddesses of security, stability, foundation, being the rock for other people. You are that. You are the bull. But they're just asking for the balance point. And keeping an open mind and seeing a new perspective. And sometimes it's as simple as allowing someone to help you. Equal give and take. Balanced give and take. If it's that simple, it's that simple. That could be the issue here. They're trying to get you to find a balance. You know, you might be a Taurus that won't accept help. And that's why it's hitting your relationship area. So that's something to look into for you, Taurus, there. And as I said, you pass the test, you get it. You make those tiny little adjustments, or just see a new perspective. You've passed the karmic cycle, or it's not even see a new perspective, it's soften into new perspectives. Allow yourself, and then you can relax a bit more, okay? Because they're starting this for you now, because as I said, the next few years you've got Uranus coming in there anyway, reinventing you, kind of like chipping away at how you did things, chipping away at how you do things, chipping away, changing it, giving you new perspective. So you need this karmic lesson now and learn to balance it now for where you're moving into anyway. So that's the key. All right, Taurus, thank you very much. We will see you next month for the month of June, when we'll talk about the eclipses and eclipse season, which brings very fast endings, beginnings, and changes. So you're being prepared, because eclipse season brings things out of the blue, you know. So if we were too rigid or too stubborn or too in refusal to adapt in something, those eclipses might pick you up and flip you over. And that would be the karmic challenge, or the karmic, you need to learn this lesson, which is why we brought this information through for you today. So we are really being handed the big lessons here, Taurus, all of us. You're not alone. Every sign that I've read for today has been very deep, very heavy, and very karmic lesson, and that's why it is deep. So thank you, Taurus. Hope that's helped you for the month of May.